What do you want to be when you grow up? We've all faced that question as a young child. For me, when I was little, I wanted to be a princess. However, in high school, there's a sense of urgency to make choices about your future. One local school system has created an in-depth online program that helps high school students make future plans.
Our careers are a big part of our identity. How we got to where we are today is due in part to decisions we made in high school.
We've got far too many young people picking majors in college, going through the process of learning and coming out the other end, and there's no job.
Terry Boehm and the Pinellas Education Foundation were instrumental in developing and implementing a program that gives high school students information, insights, and motivation in developing their future plans.
Future Plans takes about 3 hours. It's a series of assessments that help students evaluate how they are wired, if you will, and where their innate talents reside. With the help of Nielsen, we actually had more than 600 students involved in focus groups to help us design and develop the program. So we have 4 different avatars. The students chose those avatars.
Understanding your strengths is important for making smart choices about which careers fit you best.
Students are taken through different tasks, including aptitude, interest, and values surveys, in order to connect them with future jobs.
The interest, aptitude, and work values are actually linked to almost 1,000 careers. So depending on how you score, it's going to indicate which careers are best suited for the way that you're built, if you will.
The computer program takes your input and gives you feedback on possible career choices.
It shows which jobs are in demand, which jobs align with their aptitudes or abilities, which job aligns with their interests and work values.
But Future Plans takes you one step further.
The students can see which jobs are in demand in Tampa Bay, Florida, and National. It also becomes an important tool for the guidance counselor.
It helps us to have real conversations with the students regarding not only their interests, but also their aptitude, and I think that's a very important part of this program.
Shannon is a career counselor at Countryside High School in Clearwater. She found that many students struggle with making career plans.
A lot of students, when you ask them what they would like to do after high school, they will tell you, I want to go to college. But they don't really have an idea of what they want to major in, or they may not even realize that what they want to do in life doesn't require college.
The Future Plans program can change all that, providing information, insight, and motivation.
Some of my students that had the lower GPAs, when they took the test, it gave them some suggestions such as mechanic and things like that that made them realize, hey, I would really like to do that. And so then I was able to have a conversation with them and tell them that if you can get your GPA up to a 2.0 during your senior year, you can go over to P-Tech and you can be involved in their mechanic program and start learning that trade now. Some students are finding that they may have been interested in 2 or 3 careers, but then when they take the assessment, one comes out instead of the other 2, so it's helping them narrow it down. Other students who had no idea what they wanted to do are finding that it's giving them options, and they're learning about careers that they didn't even know were possible.
I reinforced some of the original professions that I was thinking about, and then it also gave me some new ideas to think about.
Jacob is a senior at Countryside and found that Future Plans is very insightful.
I think that the test doesn't necessarily directly ask you what field you're interested in or what kinds of things you do, but rather takes your results and puts them into a formula to come up with the career fields that may suit your results the best.
When I initially started, I thought it would just be this brief little survey, but it was actually went really in depth. It kind of challenged you a lot. It was surprising, but I enjoyed a lot of the test.
Blake found the feedback he received reinforced his own insights into his unique talents.
One of the areas had to do with identifying details with objects and shapes and letters. I scored extremely high in that area. It wasn't kind of a surprise because it's usually, my kind of field. It just really supports the idea of going into something of that field, something that has to do with detail and memorization.
The most powerful part of the program is to help students see how to mesh their abilities and interests with the 21st century workforce.
We have so many jobs today in demand that are more technical or require less than a 4-year degree, and we really need to steer more students towards 2-year degrees, certification, tech positions, because that's where the demand is today.
So, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's a question that is much easier to answer thanks to the Future Plans project.
Ask yourself, what's next for me?
Absolutely take this program because it will help open new paths that you never thought were there.
This is a big step in preparing for your life after graduation.
Everybody is good at something, and by doing all these different assessments, the students realize, hey, I actually am good at something. I'm good at spatial awareness, or I have really good communication skills. It picks up on some things that the classroom doesn't necessarily pick up on.
It's time to see your results.
So it's not your typical cognitive assessment where we're trying to find out what you don't know. We're trying to find out where your talents reside.
Congratulations on completing Future Plans.
It's a motivating activity for a lot of students because you can walk away from Future Plans and say, oh, I am good at something.